Hallelujah!
Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt. Today, lucky number 7. Today is the 7th day of December, which means today I take the sample bottle with the 7 on it out of that box. What is in that sample bottle? Your guess is as good as mine until I taste it. And then my guess is normally 100% correct, which isn't true. Hoping that the first week of December is going so well for you and your family and your loved ones and your dog who you forgot to feed tonight. Probably want to go do that before you forget. Hopefully the remote starter on your 1998 Ford Explorer is still functioning properly. If not, check the batteries in the remote. If the batteries in the remote are still good and it's still not working correctly, you might need to check under the hood. There's a little thing under the hood that senses if the hood is shut or open, and if that sensor isn't working or if it's broken or out of place, it might think that your hood is open, and then your 1998 Ford Explorer won't remote start because it's a safety issue. Where was I? Oh, day number 7. America. Without even smelling it or looking at it, 7 is a lucky number. Damon probably gave us a lucky pour on day number 7 because luck is actually part of his last name. Or what if he played the opposite game and he thought that we'd get lucky on day number 7 and he poured us a pooper instead? Damon, you son of a bitch. I'm on to you. Let's take a gander. Ooh, dark. Nice and dark. It's a beautiful color of something that's darker than young bourbon. I would consider it to be older than young bourbon, just judging by the color. Yet day number 7, good and dizzy. Good and dizzy. While I spin this day 7 glass so fast, let me remind you to check the filter on your furnace, because those things get so dirty. And if you don't change them, your furnace has to work extra hard. And also, contaminants can get inside your air ducts and poison your family. I don't know if that last part is true, but good luck. Couldn't hurt. On the nose. Oh, day 7 on the nose is... Was that rye I smelled? Sweet and oaky and caramel and a tinge of mint. It's got a bit of a Hall's mentholyptus cough drop, bit of a mentholyptus cherry cough drop. I'm kind of leaning towards it not being mint and leaning towards it being more like just a sweet ethanol oak. A little bit of oak on here, which, judging by the color, doesn't surprise me. Ho, 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 here we go. Wow. What on earth is that? My first instinct was correct. That's a rye whiskey. Sometimes I go with my gut, and I'm right. Other times I second guess myself, and I'm right. Sprouted grain rye bread from Trader Joe's. The flourless kind. Sprouted grain rye bread in the toaster. Pops up. Grass-fed Kerrygold unsalted butter lathered across the rye toast. And then you take a bite of it, and you're like, I forgot to spit out my gum. A crunch of delicious rye toast with a mint gum still in your mouth. But when I go back to the nose now, I'm not picking up on the rye on the nose anymore. Maybe a little bit. This is the weirdest thing ever. Now that I go back to the nose, it's like MGP bourbon. How is this even? It's MGP bourbon now on the nose. After I tasted it, I expected to go back to the nose and pick up rye stuff. Instead, I go back to the nose and I pick up like MGP bourbon notes. I am a crazy person. I am a crazy person. How is it that I'm this crazy? I don't know what's happening here. The second sip of this did not taste like a rye at all. There's some rye spice there. There's some rye spice hanging out. It's good. But the palate was not a rye whiskey like I got on the first sip. The first sip screamed rye whiskey. The second sip, not so much. The second sip was more like cherry cola. Like a Chica cherry cola. This might be a bourbon. Stupid. This is probably the hardest job on the planet. The nose and the palate have transformed, transmorphed like 13 times. If rye whiskey, MGP whiskey, and Buffalo Trace whiskey had a three-way, had a menage a triple, a menage a trois, rye, MGP, and Buffalo Trace got it on. I almost want to guess it's a rye. I also almost want to guess it's a bourbon. The nose and the palate are playing funny games with me that I do not appreciate. Although I do appreciate it. It's complex, it's a thinker. It's like, what the heck is going on? What the heck is happening here? Whatever it is over 100 proof. I'll say that with confidence. I will say this is either a rye whiskey or a very high rye bourbon. And it's got some age on it, and it's around 115 proof. Kind of dig it. I would give that probably a score of, I don't know, like an 8.1. It's very good. It's very good. It's like an 8.1. Now let's find out what we're so confused about. Day number 7. On day number 7, the pour that confused me so much is Old Pepper Bourbon. Old Pepper Bourbon? Born with the Republic. Old Pepper Bourbon. Straight whiskey. I've never had Old Pepper. What the heck is Old Pepper? Bottle number 7, Old Pepper 10-year bourbon. 121.3 proof. Old Pepper I've never had an Old Pepper bourbon. I've never had an Old Pepper product. I don't know where Old Pepper is made. So, if anybody out there, here, this is a job for you. Tell me where the heck this came from. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey, and like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on putting a comment in the comment section below telling me where 10-year-old Old Pepper bourbon comes from. Because I'm interested. I'm very interested. And if that's Dickel, then I quit YouTube. Because I kind of liked it, and I thought it was a rye. Let me know what I'm missing here. Let me know a little bit about Old Pepper if you have any idea. If you got here late and everybody already answered that question, then leave a different comment. Leave a comment about how warm my fireplace looks, or how great I will look when I finally get rid of this beard. Or a comment about hello? A stabbing?